Village definitely has been seeing some strats where you play around that Mei. We get a lot of Pharah as well because of that high skybox and the take advantage of the sight lines and the space that you have. Tea Party now. Get ready to roll out here versus Wavechick, the first mid of this match, and it looked like a triple DPS versus that bunker composition of Wavechick.
And generally, I think I like Wavecheck's composition a little bit better here. Mei is incredibly strong on Middle Village, but they still have to get there first. Far gonna be looking to stop them ahead of time. Madian already gonna fall, hooked in by Hegan and down. Crack-a-lackin' anti-air icicle, and this is quite bad for Tea Party. Wavecheck not only wins the neutral fight, which should have been harder for them, but now they're gonna be able to set up right on the point, and this is where it's so hard to deal with the Mei.
I think you've nailed it very accurately there. This is quite bad. When your Pharah gets sniped out of the sky by the Mei, and then you lose the first fight as triple DPS when you should just be able to poke the bunker, that is unfortunate. And just as you talked about, they're set up now on the point. Tea Party now have to re-enter, and you see they've actually swapped to a double sniper setup with a bunker of their own because it gives a little bit of an opportunity to enter the point, not worry quite as much about the pickoffs and the hooks because you don't have as many healers that are going to get caught by those.
Now, it is interesting that they're running the Mei and playing it here. Crack-a-lackin' hooked it and down. Not the safest positioning for a Mei, all in all. And you look at Tea Party. They've taken down 2. They can easily move forward in the wave check, and I get that you can wall back there, but why not just bring it to the point?
Now, Tea Party going to move forward to this point, picking up these last 2 frags here for wave check. And when you look at that fight, because this fight is indeed over, they're just getting the cleanup. Amadian played the off angle incredibly well after Blub gets the hook, which is really a questionable position for Crack-a-lackin' versus what that comp is. Amadian just played the off angle, which is so important versus as they're running the double sniper versus what Wavecheck was playing with the McCree and the Mei. You need to use the space. You need to use the presence and the sight lines that a double sniper can bring and work around the shield. You don't want to just shoot the shield for a million years. You want to get around it.
Well, not only does a double sniper give them more opportunities to hit from both sides, but the other issue here too is that they're staying on the Mei, where Mei's really good at defending the point, not so good at breaking in. Now the next fight's going to be underway. Freedom already taking down Hegan on the other side. Far. Good position here in the Hanzo, and Wavecheck just run right on over.
So another fight going the way for Tea Party. And Tea Party, they've set up their spot. They've used the Dragon, though. They used their Valk. Wavecheck now looking like they're going to make a couple swaps with Crack-a-lackin' onto that Diva. And I think when you look at this composition that we currently see for Wavecheck, you're thinking, well, are we going to be running double sniper into this? Are we really going to be able to win those shield war? Are we going to be able to get the off angles? And that's the problem is right now they're not trying to do that at all. They're actually trying to play a triple tank. They're trying to get value there.
And they're just all going in front of the Orisa. But guess what? The Orisa shield is broken, and now they have to wait for the shield to come right back on up. Tea Party totally fine. And off on the other side, Wavecheck can get a pick off. Jade able to find Hanzo on the other end. 6-on-5, Ace of Spades. The more precarious position. And Wavecheck, they're going to commit. Transcendence on the way out. Moving on forward, they get down Ace of Spades, so Wavecheck should be able to flip the point here.
Wavecheck right now utilizing their shield break properly. I think that most importantly when we look at that fight, Luke commits the supercharger. They also have the panic on that Zen. They know he does go down late. They have superior shield break when they have a Zen on the field, when they have Discord, the focus fire is strong for them. And Tea Party, that's where they fall down as Jade gets that late pickoff. But they're going to get the flip down. Wavecheck isn't going to control the point.
Tea Party, though, still in a decent position. Probably about 2 fights left to move on in. And even if they don't get the next fight, they should be able to head on over. Meanwhile, for Wavecheck, if they give up 1 fight, it is likely over. But we'll see what Jade has in store here.
Wavecheck need to be focusing here on breaking shields, EP. They have the Zen. They want to get that Transcendence up. They want to have the value there so they can survive a long fight. As Crack-a-lackin' with the double. Bye-bye. That's the fight over Tea Party.
Yeah, just off camera, over the wall, takes down 2. And that buys Wavecheck very crucial amounts of time because now it's a 1-fight game.
1-fight game with Transcendence and Valk on the line already. It's up for Wavecheck. They have them. They have them coming up. They also have the Orisa, the supercharge advantage for Luft. So they have a real possibility to end this round right now. They just have to play slow. They can just play shield break here once again and play their ults.
Tea Party looking more like they're going to be hanged to the middle. I think Tea Party might try and play point here. No, Wavecheck be going back under a bit of pressure. Jade looking for Diva that's off over towards the point. But at this point, Tea Party must keep someone at the point at all times. And Blub can take down his counterpart. Whole hog in action. 2 down. Resurrection still comes up here from Juby, but it's all Blub right now. Blub leading the way. 30 HP, gets the heal off just in the nick of time. And Tea Party, they fight their way back in.
It's done. It's over. Blub, he might have just saved the game right there for Tea Party this round in particular. By getting that flank, they played split. They sent Freedom to point. to get that point presence, and then Blub enters from main as well, enters from that lower Mega Pack, just gets the pickoffs that he needs, gets the shield presence. Wave check, they have to enter now on the point versus the setup Tea Party, and look, he's already down, no supercharger on the field.
That's going to be it. Wave check down 2 immediately. Nearly impossible to pull this one back at this point. He's going to hide behind the Orisa shield. Whole hog on the way down. And Blub just on the cleanup. Tea Party bringing it back.
They played that last entry when they retook the point masterfully. It's not just Blub popping off as well. Yep. They had freedom with the good split, made sure to point that split presence where they forced Wave check, or do we fight them when they come in from lower Mega, or do we fight them on point? And that is the value of having freedom to split there, even if he's not there to major for his team. And Blub just takes that space and he uses it. And that's going to be Tea Party taking the first round.
And I still have to go back and just wonder for Wave check where they ran with the Mei. And we've seen Mei be incredibly powerful. But when Mei is powerful on Village, you're not usually running it up in the middle. You're running it on point and just taking advantage of the fact that it's a uniquely powerful point for blocking off and splitting a team with Ice Wall. So it was a weird approach from Wave check, and I do think it cost them.
For Wave check, I think it's sort of the value of they have to re-enter the point, and you need to walk from main. And Mei can give you some value there, but against a double sniper, it is hard to run. So I can understand where they came to that decision, but definitely a different strategy and not the same way that we used Mei previously. I think Wave check definitely struggled there to get value out of it. You see Tea Party now. Just going to look at Wave check's comp. They are playing that solo tank with the triple DPS, and he's going to go and swap fully.
A few swaps coming up here. Amadian going to be getting off the Widowmaker. 3-2-1 in progress. Well, it can be up against Orisa from the Wave check side. Wave check able to move in, get first control of the point, while Tea Party plays a little bit of hero chess. Again, though, going to find himself hacked. On the way back here for the moment. The rest of Tea Party moving directly into the point, and Tracer just getting bullied out. Meanwhile, this is where Orisa could be in trouble. The Reinhardt just moving on in. Good damage to Orisa. He again going back over, looking for Ace of Spades, trying to move around, but the heal's quite good for Tea Party here so far, as we're starting to push this back the other way, and Amadian's got a strike, finishes off Luke.
Wave check to get the first cap, but they do not win the first fight. And they should have won the first fight realistically, ZP. They had a huge ante come out from Panic. It was on Far, it was on Ace of Spades. They just need to pick a target and push it, and they just didn't. Freedom was afraid to commit, or not Freedom was commit. Higan was afraid to commit. Luke was afraid to commit. He couldn't walk forward. They couldn't find the value from that nade. And as soon as Tea Party was on the point and controlled the point versus that triple DPS, they just won the fight because they're gonna need all that value.
And I don't think things get better for Wave check as we move in here. They're going to be entering Tea Party's ultimate washing machine, where Freedom, very, very close to getting EMP. All Tea Party has to do here, the fight begins, they need to just pull it back a little bit. EMP's up, Freedom immediately going to drop the EMP. Luke's in danger, can't hold the shield, and Luke immediately falling. Tea Party in a really nice spot now.
Tea Party going to clean up these frags, going to finish the fight. A little bit of stagger actually going to be out for Panic, not that much of stagger. And it is the ult washing machine, like you talked about. That is the EMP used. Cashes almost every player. I think it was a 6-man on the Wave check. They win the fight now. Blood's going to swap this in, which is the right call. You see Antal going back for the taxi. They're playing Ana. Ana Panic's on Ana. He has Nano, but Xin should always win these duels as long as they get an early focus fire target.
And Wave check, they're going to be running out of time here. Only really 1-2 fights left. Freedom already in the back, 50% to another EMP. Splits the team's attention to a degree. Shatter going to be coming on down from Ace of Spades. Wave check, meanwhile, a bit thrown back. Jade super low, gets rally off before falling, but meanwhile, the other side, Luke pressured on down, got hacked.
Now they're going to pick up Far in addition. This fight's over. It's done. The ante's out, but it's already over. And Panic, they use the Nano to try to get the initiation, but the hack was out for Freedom. He had the hack onto Far, or onto Jade. There's no armor pack, there's no bash, there's no rally available, really. They couldn't get anything. And now they're going to come back in and have to re-enter this point, and they're versus the double fight winner ult. Grab, EMP.
And it's the last fight, so Wave check, they need to strike early with the grab here. They have to grab his name again, but they're already down Luke. The EMP going to hit him right away. And Tea Party, they drop the barrier. They haven't even had to use the graviton. Wave check, falling one by one. And this grab, it's a victory grab. Tea Party dispatching Wave check, finishing out Nepal 2-0.
Pretty good victory for Tea Party, I would say. It was succinct.
Yes.
It was close on the first round, but that's sort of the nature of the bunker composition, where it's very much reliant on, let's work on re-entry, let's work on holding points, so you're going to get a lot of time bank off, even though there's not a lot of fights that happen. So Tea Party looking much stronger so far in the series. Honestly, their mastery of ult economy, their swaps looking great. They had the right split pushes that they needed. And Wave check, I see some great individual skill, but it's all about the team cohesion. and knowing when you're going to make the swaps, how you're going to make the push.
Well, I think you strike on the right point when you mention swaps, where there's swapping compositions that made sense, and also, to the same note, playing compositions that made sense, playing to the strengths of those compositions, going, okay, we're going to swap to a Sombra 3-2-1. We know that, generally speaking, if we can just get our Ulticami in a good spot, things go well. It's the reason why Sombra has become so meta, and it's really difficult right now to win against a team that's deciding to run with Sombra when you're not running one of your own.
Especially when you get in the ult cycle.
Yeah.
Once you get in the ult cycle, then it's you have to play perfectly and coax a snafu out of the other team rather than actually having any objective outplay. It's tough because it relies on the enemy team to mess up the ults. It really does. That's just like, if they miss the ults, if they mess it up, then they can lose. Then you can win that fight. But otherwise, those ults are so strong, their combination of having them both together and putting you in that cycle of, well, we just used the support ult for EMP, now they have grab and we don't have support ult. That is a problem you run into. And that was the trap that WaveCheck fell into because they couldn't deal with the Sombra.
And the sad thing about it all is that WaveCheck did have good moments in the very beginning of round one. You think about how it started. It started out with the fire getting plucked out of the sky by an icicle. That's how that began for WaveCheck. And WaveCheck, even when they had good breaks, didn't really feel like they're using the composition they had to peak efficiency where, again, there's no ironclad rule that says you're running a Mei, you need to run it on point, but the reason why teams run Mei on Village is to use the wall on point where it's incredibly powerful. You can seal off half the point in a given moment, and deciding to play towards the middle high ground and just going for a door wall, it's not as powerful.
No, it is not. So it is going to be the first map going the way for Tea Party. We're going to be going to our second map very soon. That was Control. Finished. And Tea Party is a squad we've talked about previously when we've seen their games, obviously, because we're talking about their games. But in that, we see a lot of promise for them. We see the potential for a squad that could be almost the next Square One, right? Obviously, Square One still exists. But in terms of a trial team moving up, having a great performance in NA Contenders in their first season, and they really could have that. That could be that next squad because we see the value. Amadian, he pops off. Far, a veteran of Contenders, someone that's been having some, he hasn't been crazy, he hasn't been Mangachu level on Brigida necessarily, but he's been consistent, been very consistent, has that flexibility. The rest of the squad always there, looking to be improved, that arc of improvement through the season.
Relative to the standard in Contenders, I definitely wouldn't say that Tea Party is lacking mechanical skill. I think their mechanical skill is pretty decent. Are they packing quite as much as, say, a team like Envy or Atlanta? Probably not, but relative to the overall level in Contenders, I think Tea Party is still very, very promising. And, it's the players you just mentioned, right? I would look very much at players like Amadian, even though you look at the last map, even players like Blub, where you wouldn't expect it, had some pretty good moments.
And part of that is also due to the fact that we touched on it, it just played the composition better. Yeah. WaveCheck was trying to play that bunker composition with a solo sniper with Jade on Widow, and it's a lot harder to find that value because you're relying on the shield presence, on the shield break when Panic's on the Xin, while Tea Party are playing the Junkertown comp, it's called. The solo heal Mercy, they have Blub on the Hog, they have double sniper, they can play all the angles, don't have to worry about shield break because you're not going to try to shoot the shield, you're going to walk around the shield. And Jade is tough to find value, it's tough for Hagan to find value because they're not just going for halt hook combos. Tea Party now going to be on the defense here on Paris.
And Madman just got chunked. I think Amadian just went for a hook shot early on, hoping to get pickoff, but 30% to Infrasight, not bad.
The Tea Party playing, as has now been coined in many terms, it's almost the Clockwork Vendetta comp. You see the hook comes out, Far, he's hooked in, he needs the wall to get out, he can get out, he's safe.
A little bit too close for comfort there for Tea Party, but the wall is on cooldown. Far has to reestablish, and it gives WaveCheck the time to move on in. Blub down, 5-on-5. Decent trade to start things out here for WaveCheck as Jade just holding in the back. Rotating around, looking for shield pressure and pressure on the heroes in the back if possible. The rest of WaveCheck rotating over more towards the point, and it's a slow burn right now with the Orisa.
You look at the Mei walls successfully coming out, blocking the halt hook combos for both squads. It's a move forward succession, just a beat of let's shoot shield, halt, pull. Here we go. Every time they get the hook here again, can they finish off the frag? No, they can't.
Well, the wall's going to be sealing off the escape here from Tea Party, and see if it results. So it does, for Gizzy Freedom falling immediately. Amadian, though, struck him back. Room to work with. Here is Widow in for sight up. However, WaveCheck on the point. At some point here, Tea Party needs to move on over. They're going to get the resurrection. They need to move now. 94%. It stops at 98. It's going to be all committing here for Tea Party. Even Amadian getting in here. Battle Widow action. Takes down Crackalacken point blank. But he again, off forward to the side. It's a little bit too much damage to WaveCheck. They're going to get point A.
Point A is going to go the way of WaveCheck. Tea Party gonna be going down there. They'll have ults for last, they'll have ults for second. And the reality is, when you look at that composition differences, Wavecheck had 2 healers. Wavecheck had 2 supports. Playing that slow game, playing the poke game, unless Tea Party gets more picks, they slowly lose because they can't heal. They just can't heal fast enough. And Blub, after getting picked, came back on a Hanzo. Didn't come back on for second healer. He was looking still to break that shield, get that extra damage and poke. So Wavecheck stepping up here for the next push on to last. They're going to have almost 5 ults. Tea Party, no defensibles available. No defensibles available. They do make some swaps. They have Amadian on the Torb now, and then a double slow heal, but still no defensibles.
You can see the Dragon right down Broad Street, gobbling up far immediately. Good opportunity here for Wavecheck to move on forward. They don't have to worry about the Blizzard. 3 already down! And this is looking very, very good for Wavecheck. Just snowballing their way in the point B.
Holding the point. They've used the Supercharger. They dropped the beat in victory. Great push from Wavecheck. And for Wavecheck, it really comes down to they had a consistent comp. They didn't make any big swaps. Tea Party made big swaps. They made very big swaps. They got us in. They have an Ana. They have no defensibles to deal with the Supercharger, to deal with the beat, to deal with the Dragon Strike. They had nothing at all to deal with that. I also question, why Torb? I can't even find a reason for why Amadian would go Torb that scenario unless they're going to play Batiste and try to bunker around it. It just doesn't make any sense, realistically, for me.
I would say my guess would be is that they're going, well, Clockwork Vendetta style compositions are all the rage right now, and within that composition, you do run Torb, so I guess maybe they thought, all right, well, if we can build up to it, it's going to be fine. But I fully agree. I mean, it was way too many swaps for the defending team where it was almost the inverse of what you usually see on Assault, where the commonality on Assault is that you move in with a point A specific composition, and then you have to swap comps, and the defense is ahead in ult economy. You definitely don't want to do the inverse where now you're on the defense, you have to fully swap to an offense that hasn't had the swap, because it makes it a lot more likely that you give up point B for free.
Just the power of the ult economy. The power of the ult economy, if your economy is down, you don't have a lot of purchasing power in terms of wins. Purchasing power goes down, and obviously, Wavecheck had a lot more ults in that fight. They had a lot more value. They had strong ults they needed, along with defensive ults. And Tea Party swapping so late for second, and then going Clockwork comp, because think about that comp, it's great if they played on first. If they played on first, they would have the defensive ults they needed. They would have had Nano, they would have had Trance, they probably wouldn't have had the multi-core, but they have none of them. They made the swaps on second, which was an odd choice. For me, if anything, I would have liked to see Batiste, where they would have to worry about the Supercharger and all that damage coming out for Wavecheck, and you do that Immortality field and that burst healing. But now Wavecheck going to be on defense. Playing another bunker composition of their own, not quite the same, is going to be solo heal though.
A lot of swaps coming out here from Tea Party, where definitely trending more towards the shield break territory. Oh, nope, swapping again. It's going to be double sniper.
Double sniper with a solo heal Batiste. So you look at Tea Party's composition, they're going to have those double snipers poking, looking for picks above the shield, maybe even with the halts. And Antal and the tanks are going to be moving forward, taking the space, trying to get across the Immortality field. It's all about who gets the pick first, really, and shield pressure is going to be so important for both squads.
Hanging back here. Decent shield pressure already out. Tea Party starting to work their way in. Again from Audion. Taking every shot, looking for an opportunity, but it is a slow approach, but gonna get it! Orisa down on the other side, and this is really big for Tea Party. Even losing Batiste, there's opportunity here. But Orisa's gonna go back up. They're not able to get over to the body. And this gives Wavecheck the ability to reestablish, but look at Audion. Still moving in, still finding shots, and Tea Party slowly but surely starting to grind their way in.
However, this fight's happening, it's subsisting, they're staying in, they're looking for picks. Tea Party doesn't have a healer. Antal's still coming back from spawn. There's the tire out from Jade. They need to split. They need to get this tire. It can't get value. Good field, actually. Blocking a lot of that value. Stopping the tire kill. So very good field from Antal.
Bar down to 15 HP over here. Junkrat can be rezzed on up. Wavecheck for now, stabilizing. Very close to Molten Core off on their side, and right now, using walls to delay, and Molten Core gonna be up. Panic, just lobbing it on over. Gonna be delaying Tea Party even more. Look at that, getting quite low, where even if it doesn't get any kills, it's forcing them back, but there it is. Finds Far on the other side, and Wavecheck has fully pushed Tea Party back.
Panic gets 2 with that ult. Panic manages to catch 2, and this is sort of the weakness of Tea Party versus the Molten Core is a zoning ult. A zoning ult like Tire, like Molten Core, you can't run away from it. There's no Lucio. You have the Immortality field, but guess what? Molten Core kills Immortality field. He's able to get those frags. However, with it gone, with the tire out, now is Tea Party's chance to look to move in. They have Amplification Matrix. They can break shield. They can win shield war every time. They can blow through this Maywall in addition.
Amplification matrix down. They just have to get through the May wall first. Tea Party looking for it early. Crackalacken went down, immediately rezzed back up. And wave check for now. He's going to be backing up a little bit, giving some room here to Tea Party. Tea Party fully committing whole hog supercharger. Moving toward the break shield. Here comes the tire off on the outside from wave check. Over round, taken down by Far, immediately puncturing it. Blizzard in, freezing people. Wave check holding it back off the Blizzard from Crackalacken, and that's what they needed.
The problem for Tea Party right now is that they're compromised on picks. They're compromised on picks. They have worse shield presence because they don't have a Junkrat. They don't have a Torb who's also very good at spamming shield. Even May, pretty good at spamming shield comparatively to a double sniper. And they're not getting any picks. The longer these fights run, the stronger wave check become unless Tea Party are getting the off angles for the shields, getting the picks, getting the halt combos that they need. Because the Junkrat, the Torb, the May, it puts so much value in the split here against Tea Party.
Well, once more, Tea Party going to be opening up with the Amplification Matrix, using that for heavy damage to force wave check back to a degree, and just hook the mech into the shield. Good play, prevents him from getting to the backhand. And now, wave check, another tire built on up. Pretty low across the board here. Dragon Evie going down the middle, Crackalacken unable to get away. Man advantage here, the wave check, but Jade, the tire is up. Where's it gonna go? And Far again! Takes down the tire. Jade, unable to get anything rolling. He again on the other side. The whole hog looking to make room. Tea Party still smooth people over to point. Flub already down. The team mech off the whole hog. He again right now still desperately trying to bring this back. Wave check back over to point. And they get the pickoffs they're looking for. It's going to be a point A hole.
Full hold for wave check. Tied 1-1 now in the series. And you look back, I continue to look at that push, and it was tortured. It was a tortured push because they didn't choose to go dive versus multiple stagnant characters. There was no Brigida, there's no Batiste, there's nothing there. They chose to play a shield comp. They tried to play those shield comps. And double sniper, I've had this criticism before on Paris First. You need to find angles.
Yeah.
It's so tough to find angles on Paris First. It's incredibly tough to find those angles unless you get through the choke effectively. They're not going to let them. Wave check's not going to let Tea Party get through.
What we essentially watched there was a very long, protracted shield battle where the offense of Tea Party just wasn't able to get anything going. And that was even with a few gifts where that was with the Junkrat tires doing absolutely nothing. And even still, just they could never get quite enough to turn the tides of battle in their favor. And whether it be Whole Hog, even Molten Core, which did quite a bit in the defense, they just kept getting hit with obstacle after obstacle. And as a result, it's now tied up 1-1 here in the series.
And getting hit with icicle after icicle as well. The reality is their comp in terms of splitting, in terms of finding picks, was a lot worse. It's the composition game here. Yeah. And when you look at the trouble that Tea Party were having versus it, you would think, well, maybe we should go full shield break. Maybe we should go dive. Maybe we could even go 3-3 potentially, because there's not even that much that will stop them. There's no Zen on the field. There's no Ana to anti-nade you. You have those options. And they chose to stick with that composition. They chose to stick with that double sniper. So it definitely has some problems in terms of we're stuck in a rut. This is the comp we want to use. This is the comp we pre-planned. And we're getting countered. And sometimes teams have to have that flexibility to say, guys, let's swap. And they just didn't see it.
No, there are no swaps to be had. They were still hoping against hope that they'd get the pickoffs with the double snipers. Didn't quite happen. But you know what? The series is still even. Plenty of time to run it on back. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the second half.